You know who one of the most popular customers of credit card companies is right now? People who've been through bankruptcy. The reason, as one of the vice presidents of MasterCard once explained to me, is we know two things about them. One is that they can't file for bankruptcy again. And the second is they have a taste for credit. And I said, what does that mean? And he said, well, they're willing to make minimum monthly payments forever. And that's where we make our money. What's remarkable about where we are in this economy, credit card lending and subprime mortgage lending are so profitable that getting families to take on more debt will yield more money for these companies, even if the number of foreclosures and defaults keeps climbing.
And there's a reason for all of this. Now, federal law allows that if you or I stop paying on our credit card, that the creditor is mandated by federal law to charge it off if we don't make a payment for 180 days. During that 180 days is when all this credit hell is going on your account. From the date that you stop paying to the date that it charges off, that credit card issuer has amassed hundreds, perhaps even thousands of dollars in late, over limit, and additional credit fees. So that when the card does charge off, when they take the profit and loss, the P&L that goes on your credit report, that it's a highly inflated figure. That then even becomes a bigger figure when it moves over to the debt buyers, when they sell it and make more money on it. A lot of it's done today by bids. They'll put together a portfolio. It's $25, $50, $100 million, and then they have different grades of paper, A, B, C, or D, depending on the age and what type of accounts it is. What they're doing has been compared to the drug dealers of the 80s and the 90s, except that it's legal for now.
And one of the vice presidents of Citigroup called me in my academic office and said, I'd like to do a seminar for all of the executives here. And would you come in and present your statistics on bankruptcy? I had a new book out about bankruptcy. And he said, I think this is going to be very enlightening for people. And I said, sure. And I came in and I had all my little charts and graphs. And in effect, my message was, if you would screen the weakest customers, those who are overloaded on debt and least likely to be able to pay, you could cut your bankruptcy losses by 50% in the blink of an eye. And, you know, this is several hours of presentation, of course, but lots of data to back it up and arguments back and forth. And there'd been some discussion and there was much in the room. Talk about this. And then a fellow in the back said, Professor Warren. And everyone got quiet. And, you know, it's that classic moment when you realize that's the guy who has all the power here. And he said, very interesting. He said, but if we cut those people off, that's where we make all of our profits. And we won't make nearly as much money.
You cut out the people who are right down the end.
If you cut out the people who are least likely to be able to repay, if you cut out the most marginal borrowers, the ones who are deepest in trouble, then you're cutting out the heart of our profits, because that's where we make most of our money.
These haunting images have ignited a painful conversation about people who live on the edges of society.
These are the families who listened to the authorities, who followed direction, who believed in the government. These are law-abiding citizens who have been left behind. They did everything they were told. They are just left behind. There's nothing offered to them.
Can you believe this is happening in our country? Can you believe this is happening in the wealthiest country, not only around the earth today, but the wealthiest country that's ever been?
There's not as much money around Washington as there used to be.
Actually, have you seen this? Have you seen the new card that they're talking about putting out now where you can get a credit card against your pension account so that when you go and charge it, it automatically, if you don't pay, will be withdrawn from the money you've put aside for your retirement? This is one more way that we're trying to string together with chewing gum and baling wire to keep the American family looking like it's afloat long after it is really sunk with debt.